Looking.
Yes, it is Wednesday
There
night.
it is.
We're live.
Oh, it worked.
Y- And you know what that means. I love that. There's if you watch AEW Dynamite, they always say that it's Wednesday night. You know what that means.
I love
And
that.
and I don't know what that I do know what that means, but I really dislike AEW Dynamite now.
Here.
But I don't want to alienate any of our future viewers or our viewers by saying that I don't like wrestling or a wrestling program because I don't want to be one of those people. We're going to talk about those people later in this podcast
Ooh.
when we get to the news and the internet and how people are reacting to WWE. Now WWE is suddenly become a corporation now that
Oh,
has never done business before. Um,
not like
but
this.
yeah, yeah. But welcome to the Island of Relevancy. I am your host T. We got Frank in the building. Frank, how we doing tonight?
Frank's tired. Frank's good, but Frank's tired. Frank has played hockey for 3 straight evenings. But Frank is tired.
So I think it was last weekend I cleared out my garage from I
Oof.
mean we just threw out for 2 days. I want to say I made 3 trips to the local recycling or like kind of landfill
Okay.
or collection centers here.
Yep.
And I made 3 trips. I have a F-150. I mean, I load this thing up with all this stuff from the garage, and it's 3 trips of just crap. And at one point in time, my wife got to a box that had some receiver gloves and some cleats because back in my day, I could get busy on a flag football field.
Okay.
And I tried this about 2 years ago. A friend of
Mm.
mine, he's like a bunch of 30 something year olds. They play flag football. And I went out there and I didn't get any playing time because nobody knew me. Now I'm 6'3", close to 200 pounds, and I used to have wheels. Like I used to be able to run, but like I'm a big target, right? Like you think you got a big
Yes, sir.
target, throw the big guy the ball, right? I'm taller than everybody here. Most people here are like 5'8", 5'9". It's a thing. And I was sitting on the bench in the last game that I went to. Um, the guy said, I was there, I would warm up and everything, and they just would not put me in the game. And everybody would look at me like, why is this big, tall, doofy dude? He must not know how to play. Like that's the assumption is when you got a big, tall guy sitting on the bench, he must not know how to play. Now they had a team, like to their defense, they had a team that had been playing together for a while, and they didn't know me. The one guy who I thought who invited me there, who I thought was my friend, knew me. So it's like, dude, you know I got wheels, like you know I
Didn't
got
stick up
hands.
for you. Didn't push you at
At,
all.
at all. Like this dude, I said, you know I could catch, right? He was like, I don't know that. That was years ago when we played. I was like, dude, you don't lose. I mean, you might lose a step, but you don't lose the
No.
ability to like whatever. So they put me in a game. And the quarterback decides, hey, I'm just gonna throw this thing as hard as I can to see if he could get under it. And I could not because at that time I'm like 45 years old. Like I don't have those type of wheels. Put the ball close to me, I could bring it in. But
Right.
long story short, I played that game, that last game. I pulled a hamstring,
Mm.
like trying because when I say they would just throw the ball hard, it was like, all right, y'all are not proving a point here, but
Right.
whatever. And
Right.
that was the last time, and my wife was like, "Are you ready to get rid of these?" And that's why I thought of the football thing because I got rid of those cleats. Like, I'm never doing that again. I have nothing to prove. I'm closer to 50 than I am 40, and no thanks. Like,
Listen,
yes,
I
those days are over.
I feel you to a point. I got there about 3 years ago where I've been playing hockey all along and I took a little bit of time off, then I came back and it's on foot, so it's not on ice, it's not on skates. There's a lot more movement involved because it's on foot. And
Yeah.
my game was going downhill and I started on Ozempic. I lost like 30, 35 pounds. But the one league I play in, you got to wear a helmet. And I had this really old helmet from back in like the 80s and 90s. It was a Jaffa helmet. Same type of helmet
Mhm.
Wayne Gretzky wore. And I had an original one. I threw that out about 10 years ago, thinking I was never going to, because I always wear just a baseball
Yeah.
hat backwards. I don't wear a helmet. Um, I had to buy a cheap one offline, and it's like a knockoff remake brand. But the hockey game has
I'm
improved. in my over 50 league, I am currently sitting at 6th overall in scoring. We played 5 games. I have 5 goals and 4 assists. I have 9 points in 5 games. It's the best I've done in years. And it's fun. It's a nice, fun league. They're going to do an all-star game seasons. I think we got 2 more games left. I got a game tomorrow night at 9:30. Ugh. Here we go.
At like 9:30 p.m.
9:30 p.m. Last night's game was at 8:40. Monday night's game was at 9:30. So I did the pod for the Geek Spot. Got signed off, jumped in the car, drove down to places like 30 miles away, drove down, played, got back home, went right to sleep.
Bless
Tonight,
you.
I'm home playing video games after we discuss 2 stellar shows that, I mean, we discussed 2 shows.
SmackDown, come on. Road Dogg is the best writer. He's the best booker. He is the greatest. Oh, you didn't know? Yo ass better call somebody.
Better call somebody else.
Is,
You better call somebody else. Hello to Matt back from Vegas. Thank you for jumping in, Matt.
Oh, hey, Matt. I missed your Nia Jax hate for the last 2 weeks. Like my favorite part of the pod is when I talk about Nia Jax and Matt says how much he hates Nia Jax.
I'm not a big fan, but I'm trying to slow the hate train down a little bit. You know, I was not a big Bailey fan, but after the pictures of the birthday party on the yacht, I'm a bigger Bailey fan now than I ever was.
Wow.
Right?
Whoa, we're gonna dive into that at some point about why you weren't a Bailey fan. Because I've been a Bailey fan since she was a hugger. I've been a Bailey fan since Takeover Brooklyn. And that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
What's going on, Ace? How you doing, man?
What's up, Ace? So we had a SmackDown show that happened.
We did, and we had a moment that didn't seem like much, but I guess it's an impactful moment because it was R-Truth's last match.
Did we talk about Saturday Night Main Event?
No, he had a match on SmackDown, didn't he? Didn't he?
Oh my God, he did. You're right. I didn't get that far down. I was looking at the beginning because they were live. They were in Knoxville, Tennessee, and Bianca opened the show, and that was cool. That was really awesome that they had her parents there, their family was there. It was really awesome that she got to come out and open the show. I really like that. Her fingers are still taped up, so she's still a little bit away from actually competing, it looks like.
Yes.
This was probably one of the best parts of the whole night, was the opening segment.
Correct.
Naomi coming down crazy as can be. This
Naomi
girl
is unhinged.
She is so unhinged. And they started talking back and forth. And then she was like, I went into your house. I went into your mom. I knocked on your mom's door. I went into your house. I was in your bedroom looking at pictures of us. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. When like there was like a light switch that flipped to Naomi because Naomi started off nice. Remember, come on, Bianca, we're gonna be together. And she's like, no, I don't want nothing to do with you. And that flip switch, I've dated girls like that. That is not a good place to.
It's not.
Like
it's
not a good place to be. I had flashbacks of Naomi, like, I mean, just like that, just like nothing happened. They just turn on you. And Naomi just reminded me of some ex-girlfriends who I'm so glad we're in different states. But at this day and age, that don't matter. But hopefully they moved on. I hope Naomi moves on. I hope she gets better.
She's moving on. Help. I don't think she's moving on anytime soon. She's not getting better. But Jade came down, and then they started. Now, see, I like that they're doing this. This is, I mean, I want to talk a little bit later about how formulaic the both shows are becoming. I do appreciate this part of the show where they open up with a segment and it leads right into a match. Cool.
Correct.
I'm fine with that. We get right into the Money in the Bank match. Jade's there, Naomi brawling, Nia comes down, and we get right into the match. And I mean, you know, it was a match, right?
I didn't know who was going to win this match.
I didn't.
I really, any one of those 3 competitors could have won this match, but the right competitor won the match.
I think so. I kind of expected Nia to win. Like if I had to pick someone beforehand, having Naomi go over, I think is great because I know she mentioned not too long ago somewhere that she wanted to stop wrestling and have kids at some point. She is getting a little bit older. So maybe this is her run, you know? Maybe.
I think this is her best character work. This is some of the best character work that I've seen. Not just a female wrestler, but like a wrestler. Period. Like she's doing some really good character work. Her character is getting over. She is completely unhinged, but at the same time, she seems completely in control. She's not like Alicia Fox, who Alicia Fox was just running around yelling and just doing just an insane person. But she's very focused. She's very like it's really like her promos have gotten a lot better. She's just really in tune. And I think it's because they're all friends.
Yeah.
Like, and they're
And it makes
all
it
just
easier.
it makes it a lot easier for you to go to those places. Like when she told Bianca she was gonna put her in a wheelchair like her mother. That was like perhaps the line of 2025. Like, don't make
Well,
me put you in a wheelchair next to your mother. And she tweeted 2 wheelchair emojis, which is hilarious.
I think that's a great line, but the backstage segment had probably one of the better lines. Little did we know that this was the swan song for R-Truth. R-Truth backstage, Solo Sikoa and JC, whatever the hell his name is now.
Mateo.
And Solo, Jacob, and JC are backstage, and up comes R-Truth and asks Solo, who almost broke, "Is this your husky son? I died. Is this your husky son?" I mean, at that point, I should have pulled the trigger and went to the site and bought the shirt. I really should have.
I'm so upset my shirt hasn't come yet.
I'm upset that I'm upset that I didn't buy it. But
it's probably sold out now. It's definitely sold out.
It's not sold out. It's pulled. It is unavailable. It was pulled. We're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this in a few minutes. Yes. So they went out, had a match. Truth got his moves. JC Mateo won.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
It's the right move, but again, nobody knew that was it. That was the last Truth match.
Correct.
Chelsea Green got shown in the back wearing a rainbow mask to cover her broken nose.
Man, her face looks jacked up.
It really does.
Like her face. Bless her. I love Chelsea. You know. I mean, I call this the Truth Appreciation show, but every show's a Chelsea Appreciation show. I love Chelsea. I love Chelsea. She is.
And then we had Ford and Dawkins come out and they did some talking, and the Machine Guns came out and did some talking, and Gargano and Tommaso and Candice LeRae came out and were talking, and the Wyatt Six came out and took everybody out. Again. I'm assuming that Loomis and
Gacy.
Joe Gacy are going to win the belts.
It might be Rowan.
Maybe
it might be
Rowan. Going to give them a small little run with the belts, and then you'll probably never see them again.
Yes,
is my guess.
This was a messy segment, but I did love Candice coming out with DIY. She makes them so much better. Yeah. Like she just does. Her being there and people talking to her crazy, and then Johnny is like, "You can't talk to my wife." Like, great. That was to me the highlight of the segment. I like her better with them than I liked her with Nia.
Yep. Because everybody else is just saying the same things that they always say.
Correct.
And then we get a match. So we get they just keep giving Ray Phoenix partner after partner after partner after partner after partner. Right? We have Los Garza versus Javon Evans and Ray Phoenix. It was a good match. I think I had left I had gone out for the evening, met up with Matt and a friend's birthday. We had a couple drinks. So I didn't see the whole match. I saw the beginning, and then I had to run. Was it a good match in your eyes? Did you watch it?
Yes. No, no. Okay. Good action.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible finish. You cannot, and I repeat, you cannot let Javon Evans take that pin in his first televised match on WWE television against a team that's about to break up.
Yeah,
Like, you can't have him lose it. That's my, and I'm going to talk about this a little. I have a rant.
I'm
I
waiting.
have a rant,
Um,
and that you can't. All four competitors, great wrestlers.
yep,
Javon is the future. The kid's like 20 years old, and he
yeah,
can do everything in the ring. Ray Phoenix is Ray Phoenix. I assume they're giving him all these tag team partners so that eventually we get the luchas. Like, he's gonna keep losing with tag team partners until his big brother comes and saves the day. I assume that. I
right.
don't know that to be true because at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen next. Like,
No,
we're kind of in a very
yep,
peculiar time where
yep,
like, predictability is out of the room. I don't know who's getting pushed. I don't know who's getting buried. I don't know who's gonna win. I really don't know, which is a good thing, but
sure,
at the same time, it's getting a little dicey. That's what
it
I'll say.
is.
It's getting a little dicey.
Ethan Page was on commentary for the bout. And it was kind of that's cool.
Yes, they have a big match on Worlds Collide, which is probably gonna steal the show.
That's awesome.
Ray Phoenix, Javon Evans, Ethan Page, and the Laredo Kid from AAA
Okay.
have a fatal four-way for the North American title on Worlds Collide, which is going to be that's going to be a
Now,
banger of a match.
is Ethan Page going to drop that belt and come up? Because that seems to be what's happening lately. Or is he going to stay down there for a little while?
I don't see. I mean, unless he loses it to Javon, I don't see them putting it on Ray Phoenix because they're not
Right.
going to send Ray Phoenix down to NXT.
Right.
Um, I can see him losing the belt. I could also see him keeping it because he just got it back
Right.
last week. So he might weasel his way through this match. But I can't see I can't see Laredo Kid winning it. I don't think, which is one thing that WWE is getting bad at, is they're winning other people's titles, but they're not giving anybody else their title. You're not gonna get you're
Right.
not gonna get an outsider to get a WWE title.
No. No.
Um, but I mean, yeah, I think he deserves to get called up. I mean, you're about to have a gaping hole on SmackDown. So I think he can fill the hole that you're kind of walking into at this point.
Then we go to a backstage segment with Chelsea Green and Nick Aldis, which is always great television. I did watch the highlights of this with the
Mhm.
face and them holding up the faces, and
Yes.
he made an Alba Fire versus Zelina Vega match, and
Yes.
Zelina won.
Yes. I don't know where they're going with this. This is not a very good run.
Mm-mm.
Um, I don't know where they're going with this. I mean, Zelina has to fight somebody other than the Secret Harvest.
Yeah, it
She,
seems
I
to be
mean,
the only three people she's kind of rotating around their orbit right now.
so after the match, Julia
Mm-hmm.
got got in Zelina's face, which I want to see that. I
Okay.
mean, I want to see that match. I want to see Julia
Absolutely.
in any match. Yeah, so
Yeah.
um that is a possibility, which opens up the doors for a lot more matches. Honestly, because I feel like if they put Zelina against Julia, Julia's going to win the title.
Right.
Um, and and then you just have, then I guess we get BFAB and Michin versus Julia, like all the like I guess like they're new matches, I guess you can say. So
They are.
it-
Um, and then we had Damian Priest come down and he talked and he addressed Jacob Fatu, and now he wants the US belt. He respects him. He doesn't respect who he hangs out with. And then Jacob came down for his Money in the Bank match, which again, it was I wasn't sure how they were going to go. I knew who I wanted to win. So you have Jacob Fatu versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. I assumed, as did probably most everyone else, that Carmelo was going to go over in this. Jacob's not going over because he's got the US belt. Andrade's not going to go over because he's just,
he's Andrade.
He's Andrade. So Carmelo's the obvious choice to go over.
The obvious choice.
He doesn't.
No.
Andrade
He takes the pin.
And
he takes Carmelo Hayes.
I do
in 2025.
not know what they are doing at all.
So I want to say, what's today? Today's Wednesday. I think either Sunday or Monday. MVP has a new podcast, and he had some words to say about Triple H, and the words weren't, I don't think Triple H is a racist. And I'm paraphrasing because I honestly didn't listen to it. I read some of the transcripts. Like, he doesn't think it's a racism thing. And I don't think it's I'm not going to sit here and call Triple H a racist. I'm not going to call any of the writers. That's what I'm not going to do.
Right.
I just don't think that they understand the value of wrestlers who are not white or Hispanic.
I understand that.
I don't think they understand the value of the wrestlers that they have. You look at the roster now with Truth gone, you got the Street Profits and you got Carmelo Hayes on SmackDown, and you have the New Day on Raw. Those are your black athletes you have Bianca, you got Jade, you got Naomi, but that's it. And not saying you got to have, I'm not saying the roster has to be half and half or anything like that, but you have the opportunity, and it's not because they're black. It's because they're Carmelo Hayes is uber talented. He brings more to the Money in the Bank match than Andrade does.
100%. I want to see him flying off ladders. I don't need to see Andrade flying off ladders right now.
What is Andrade? Oh, yeah. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy?
Omos is on Raw.
Omos is a free agent. If you look on the WWE website, he's listed. He's not on SmackDown. He's not on Raw. He is employed by WWE. He is a free agent. And him and Brock Lesnar are the only two free agents in WWE. If you look at the WWE website.
Okay.
Omos is an attraction. I got it. He was here. He came when they came to El Paso. He wrestled Ricochet, actually, in one of Ricochet's last matches when they were in El Paso last. So he does wrestle.
They sent him to Japan, right?
Yes, he won a New Japan tag team title at one point in time. I don't know what deal he has. And we'll I guess we'll get into that later when we actually do get into the Truth debacle. I don't know what kind of deal he has, but Omos is still employed, and I don't want anybody to get fired. That's the thing. I don't push for people to, hey, you know what? Why is this guy still on? There are people who do that. Everybody. Nikita Lyons, why is she still on the roster? I don't push for anybody to lose their livelihood because I know how bad it sucks to get fired from a job. That's no fun.
No way.
Trying to pay your bills, but just with it, Carmelo Hayes, and no shade to Andrade. Andrade's a good wrestler, but he brings nothing to the table. No, Matt, we are not gonna fire my queen. We're not gonna.
Already been fired once.
Not what we're gonna
fired again.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. That's what we're not gonna do in 2025. But no, I mean, yeah, that was very upsetting. That was very shocking. I don't know if they did it for shock value, but
I don't.
That doesn't.
Like I said, I understand Jacob not winning. That's fine. He would have been really awesome in that match too. But Andrade over both of them is a head scratcher.
Now, if Andrade would have pinned Jacob in that match, then you get some this guy might be for real.
You don't want Jacob to eat. You don't want Carmelo to eat a pin, but you definitely don't want your champ eating a pin.
You don't, but the point is like it would bring a little more credence to Andrade. Like him pinning Carmelo is just like, oh well, he just pinned Carmelo.
Mhm.
Like that's a fluke. That's luck getting into the money in the bank, which it was. But like if you definitively pin Jacob, who is an animal, who's not human, then that's like, oh snap, he might have a chance of winning.
Right.
Like we all know he's in there for a spot. Like Carmelo's would have only been in there for a
Sure,
spot. Like
but it would have
he's only
been
in there for the spot, you
but it
know?
would have highlighted him, and
Correct.
it may have
Correct.
elevated him. Um,
Correct. I mean,
then we get the final
mm,
segment of the night, and honestly, I watched it. I'm losing interest in John Cena right now. I love John Cena as a human being. Let me phrase that right, because there's some backstage stuff, and I want to talk about him in truth too. But Cody Rhodes came out, which brought Cena out, which brought Jey Uso out, which brought Logan Paul out. John Cena said stuff that John Cena's always that he's been saying. He's like a record skipping right now. You're trying to be like me. You're trying to be like me.
yeah.
There was a second or two of tension between Paul and Cena. That's cool. And then, Cena and Logan end up getting beat up, which basically means they're going to win in
They're gonna
Money in the
win it.
Bank.
Yes.
And then SmackDown's over, and it was like it feels like the air is coming out of the John Cena heel run right now. I
That
understand why he's with Logan Paul, because everybody hates Logan, so putting Cena
correct.
with Logan will generate more hate for him.
For
But
sure.
at the same time, you just released this episode of Stephanie's Places with John Cena.
And he's so funny. He's so
He's so
lovable. He's
funny,
just like
and he refused to talk about the heel run. Like, she asked him, and he dodged the question, didn't even want to get into any of that, which is good. But you know,
John Cena
SmackDown,
seems like a dude that I could hang out with.
yeah,
Right? Like John Cena seems like a guy like that man, we could just have a conversation. Like so it's really hard. And that was his worst promo. Like
yeah,
that
it was
was
bad.
terrible.
It was bad.
Everything that happened on Friday night, other than Jey Uso coming out, because the crowd was super hot for Jay.
Yep,
Like
they always
like they
are.
were super hot. Other than that, like other than his actual entrance, once he came in the ring and once everybody was in the ring, I lost interest because
Same.
nobody was saying anything that made any like that mattered.
You know,
Nothing that
and I
anybody said in the match seemed like it mattered.
and I have I have something to say about that. Do you want to do the Raw recap, or do you want to do the list before we do the Raw recap?
Let's do the list. Let's
Okay.
jump into this list.
This is going to be a fun list. All right.
I love it.
This is ranking the 40 worst gimmicks in WWE.
All right. Taskmaster number 1. Go
I
ahead.
have no idea what any of these are. As you know, I like to go into these lists cold. So I have no
Yes.
idea where this is going to go. At
Let's
number
do it.
40, the Mountie.
That's come on. I love the Mountie. Like
I
such a
listen,
such a great wrestler.
I didn't make the list.
Silly gimmick.
Yes.
Good.
All right. At number 39 is Rosie, the superhero in training.
Okay, I
This
could
isn't
dig that.
this isn't against the wrestler. This is the
Of
gimmick that
course
the
not.
wrestler had.
Yeah, for sure. For
It's a
sure.
horrible
Rosie
gimmick.
was a silly gimmick. Yes,
It's a
silly
horrible
gimmick.
gimmick. At number 38, I don't agree with this, but Papa Shango was not a bad gimmick.
So that's funny you said it because I was gonna before you even started, I was gonna say at 28 we got Papa Shango, and I don't know where the 28 came from. Like just
Well, 38 is
not a
Papa
bad
Shango.
gimmick.
Not a
Not a
bad gimmick
bad
at all.
gimmick.
I actually really enjoyed the Papa Shango gimmick.
He made the Ultimate Warrior bleed like the black ooze. The kid. That's such a silly gimmick. I
Now,
loved
number
it though.
37, this is a bad gimmick. The Repo Man.
Okay. I this list is terrible. Repo Man is a great gimmick. Come
Oh
on.
my god, it's
Barry
horrible.
Darso, the Repo. Yes, it was.
Oh, horrible.
What the why did he have the little mask on? Like
He had a Lone Ranger mask on.
what was
Why? Because so you didn't know it was him? Repo
so
in
you
your
didn't
car? Come on, man. And what the hell's a repo man doing in a wrestling ring? What's
he
he
was like
repoing?
it was such a
He's
dumb gimmick.
horrible.
'Cause like,
God. And
why did he wear a mask?
number 36, and it was a bad movie too, Matt. Thank you. Number 36.
Both of them.
This is Vince had a fascination with this culture. At number 36 is the Berserker. I don't even remember this guy.
Oh, the Berserker at one point in time, I don't know if it was Dino Bravo or was Ken Patera, but the Berserker used to carry the sword
And a
and
shield.
he tried to like impale, was it the Undertaker where he tried
Yeah,
to
it says
impale him
at
with the
one point
sword?
he feuded with the Undertaker and even tried to stab him with his sword.
He put the sword through the ring. Yes. It's like
And then they
what?
say that it says this gimmick lasted less than 2 years. That's a long time for a bad gimmick.
I
Woof.
thought it would lasted maybe 6. I only remember
Oh.
maybe 3 or 4 matches with the Berserker.
At number 35, Nails. Nails with a Z.
He was the inmate, right? He was he the
He
was he
was
the
Mr.
inmate?
Magnificent in AWA. The Nails character was a former prisoner who claimed his
Yes.
innocence
Yeah.
and that he had been abused by a prison guard while he was locked up. He claimed that the prison guard was WWE superstar Big Boss Man.
The Big Boss Man. Yes, yes. I remember this. Like, he wore the orange jumpsuit to the ring. What a
So
Vince and
he
his
he
Vince and his
apparently
ideas.
was released right after his feud with Big Boss Man for allegedly assaulting Vince over money issues.
I can see that.
Number 34, our first group, the Spirit Squad, was a horrible game.
Come on. Stop. Come on, guys.
Horrible.
You guys, Kenny, Lenny, I don't remember any of them. Why was it 5 of them? Like what?
It led to some good wrestlers and some good and Kenny's backstage, right? He's a producer, I believe.
Mhm.
The only thing that was good about this was that they brought DX back.
Didn't they have a feud with the Mean Street Posse at one point in time? Like
They debuted during a match between Coach and Jerry Lawler, dude.
what a time. Oh, come on. You talk about the Attitude Era was the greatest era of wrestling ever, right? Come on. Come on.
They did hold
What are
it.
we
They
talking about?
did hold the tag team belt for 216 days.
They did. They did. The Spirit Squad. They did some silly stuff.
Oh crap! I did not realize that Nikki is Dolph Ziggler.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only good thing that came out of the Spirit Squad was
Okay.
Dolph Ziggler.
At number 33, Waylon Mercy.
Great times. What a time. Like Waylon Mercy was like, I mean, he actually was Bray Wyatt's character. He was the cult leader. He was everything. He was like Jake the Snake
He
in
was
if Jake the
supposed
Snake
to
and Bray
be
had a baby.
he was supposed to be based on Robert De Niro's character in Cape Fear.
Cape Fear.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like him too. Like long ratty hair. Like
Number 32, Damien Demento.
I remember
Don't
him
even remember
vaguely.
him.
Vaguely.
Yeah. Number 31, Fantasio.
I have no idea who this
I have
human
no
is.
idea who this is, but he was apparently a mime/magician who came to the ring with no entrance music, wore a mask with identical face paint underneath. Okay.
I wish now I have to look this up because I have to see some of his matches.
He faced Tony DeVito and during the match snuck up behind his opponent and magically removed his boxers, allowing him to secure a roll-up victory.
Oh my god.
He also removed Earl Hebner's boxers before disappearing forever.
I love
Vince
it.
was taking some good shit back then.
Hey, such good shit.
Number 30, PN News.
PN News, wasn't that an ECW guy?
He was a he was uh he was a rapper. He would
Like
rap
he
before
was
his matches.
yes, I
I guess he
remember
was
that. Like
ECW. He was
no, he
no, it was
what like
Paul NEU was his last name. He feuded with stunning Steve Austin and Diamond Dallas Page.
oh, this is WCW?
I,
Like this
it doesn't say where he was. It just says how awful he was.
I I I vaguely remember this character and he kind of was he a, does it show a picture? Was he like a heavy
Yeah,
set guy?
yeah, he's a heavy set guy.
Yeah, like it was like
He-
WCW's answer to 911.
oh,
You remember how popular 911 was
I
with
remember
ECW
911. Yes,
and like PN News was supposed to be like I don't know, like a riff on the delis and 911.
it
Like
was
I
so bad.
remember vaguely this gimmick. Yes. I
Number
remember.
29, I don't remember. I kind of remember a little bit. Kizarny.
I've heard this name so many times. I can't recall anything about him.
No,
Like I've heard that name. I always thought it was Frankie Kazarian, but it
it,
wasn't.
no, it
It
was
was
Nick Kvetovich, but he talked in
yeah,
Carney
no.
talk. Um,
Yes.
he made his debut in January of 2009 and was released by March.
Yes. I've heard the name. He's kind of come up in a lot of like
Mhm.
wrestling,
So
what culture type stuff.
there are WCW entrances in this, I guess, because they're under the WWE umbrella because a 28 Disco Inferno shows up.
Come on, you don't be disrespectful to Disco.
I don't.
I love Disco
I
Inferno.
don't.
He's a terrible human being, but I
Uh,
thought that gimmick was so funny.
I don't know. I did. Number 27, Heidenreich.
That was a gimmick? I thought that was just a bad wrestler.
That's a gimmick.
He's the
Uh,
one who punted the baby? Like he
yeah,
like fictitiously punted a baby?
I think so.
Lita and Kane's baby? It was supposed to be Lita and Kane's baby, and
He was
he
a member of
punted
the Road Warriors.
yes.
He was seen with Paul Heyman in an insane asylum. I don't know. It looks awful. It looks awful.
He was awful. He had a good look, but he just was a terrible wrestler.
Number 26 is Duke and the Dumpster and Droz.
Duke the Dumpster Drosy. Don't you ever disrespect
Oh,
Duke the
okay.
Dumpster
It has
Drosy.
end quotes in here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the hell this is.
Okay, so Vince in the 80s, early 90s, he had so many different gimmicks that involved like jobs. It was
Yeah.
like
Yes.
Erwin R. Shyster, the IRA, like all of these different things that like were occupations. Duke the Dumpster Drosy was a terrible gimmick. Like
He
I can't
feuded with
remember.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley and he was a garbage man.
Yes, he was a garbage man. He used to bring a garbage can to the ring. Like that was his gimmick.
So we're going right
Duke
from a garbage man to number 25, who would have been my favorite wrestler if I remembered him, the Goon.
the goon who walked out with like these foam skates. Like how you gonna
Yep.
wrestle in that?
Yep.
Come on, man. The goon.
He's a former hockey player who doesn't own any other clothes except a hockey gear.
Yes.
Number 24. Now, this guy I remember, Paul Burchill.
The pirate. Yes.
Pirate
Hot
Blackbeard.
sister.
Yes.
Super hot sister. Katie Burchill.
Mhm.
Super hot.
Yeah.
But they had some weird incestuous relationship. Like that's your
They do.
sister. What are we doing?
The gimmick did not work. It got zero reaction from the crowd. It quickly ended with Mark Henry injuring him, allowing him to take time off and be repackaged. Hopefully he shows up later in the list. Number
Yes.
23, Kerwin White.
Chavo Guerrero he wanted to renounce his Mexicancy
Mhm,
and he became a white man who was a
mhm,
caddy and he changed his name to Kerwin White.
mhm. Do you know who his caddy
What?
was?
Who?
Dolph Ziggler.
Awesome. I didn't remember that. They did like one episode. He had like one appearance or like two appearances and then just
Well, they
disappeared.
apparently this would have lasted longer, but then the gimmick was dropped after Eddie passed away, and then he went back to Chavo.
Ah,
Thank God.
got
Like,
it.
I'm not saying thank
Yeah.
God Eddie passed. Thank God he went back to Chavo.
Yeah. Correct.
Number
Correct.
22, the Misfits in Action.
Whoa. G.I. Bro, humorist was they had Major Guns, who was Tylene Buck. I don't know if you are familiar with the Tylene Buck, the
I
80s
remember that. I remember GI Bro.
humorist. I can't remember his name in that
We
though.
had
They
Private
had some
Stash,
ridiculous.
Sergeant AWOL, Corporal Cajun, and Chavo Guerrero as Lieutenant Loco. Ooh, okay.
G.I. Bro. I remember hearing that. I was like, Booker T's never gonna amount to anything after he changed his name to G.I. Bro. And then like 2 weeks later, he won the World Heavyweight Championship. He went back to being General Rection. Yes, that was
General
humorous
Rection.
name.
Yes.
General Rection. Oh my God. What
Number
a time.
21, Zeus.
It's no holds barred. I don't that's sometimes love, something else. I remember going to see that movie in the movie theater,
I remember seeing that
and
movie.
Zeus terrified me because he is a terrifyingly huge man. Tiny Lister, RIP to Tiny Debo.
Yep.
Terrible gimmick. He was not a wrestler. They tried to make him into a wrestler, and it just didn't work.
He left without ever winning a match.
Of course not.
Coming in at number 20 in the top 20 now, Glacier. As a WCW guy. So he was a knockoff of Mortal Kombat.
Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, I remember
man.
Glacier. Glacier was the first person I remember them doing video packages for. When like it was like for like 2 months they were doing video packages of Glacier, and you just show him doing all these kung fu moves, and I mean the production was fantastic. And then he arrived, and it was like,
So
what are we doing?
it would take him almost 2 minutes to perform routines and removing his gear, which is estimated to have cost $35,000. Wow.
Glacier.
So
Eric Bischoff is his finest.
adding in addition to the gear, estimates state the production cost for Glacier's entrance cost almost $500,000. 4 matches
They would
that
do
was
like
scrapped. At number 19, I'm sorry. Mortis.
So if you have Sub-Zero, you got to have Scorpion, and
Yes,
Mortis was Glacier Scorpion. Like Chris Kanyon, RIP Chris Kanyon, one of the greatest wrestlers. I don't care what anybody says. He was one of the top, and he was innovative. He was a great wrestler. RIP to Chris Kanyon. Who better than Kanyon?
Nope. Number 18, Wrath.
Another one. Wasn't that Brian Adams?
Brian Clark.
Wrath was
Brian Clark.
Brian Clark. Yeah. Brian Clark.
He debuted in WCW as an ally to Mortis. Ooh.
Yes. The whole Glacier Vortex.
Terrible. Number 17, I totally disagree with number 17. This man should not even be on the list. The Boogeyman was one of my favorite parts of watching wrestling. I love
the Boogeyman's not a bad gimmick.
Not at all.
It's a goofy gimmick.
And they still bring him back every once in a while.
Of course. So when the Boogeyman came out, I think either I was deployed or I was on a wrestling hiatus. Because this was around the time where Booker T was King Booker. This was a little bit before that. The Boogeyman may have debuted like because he did the thing with Sharmell. Like Sharmell was terrified of the Boogeyman.
Yep.
And I remember turning on my tail like, who the fuck is this? Like, where did he come? He didn't have no teeth. Like, like, what is going on, man? Like
crazy.
But I love the entrance. Love the gimmick. Not the best wrestler in the world, but not the worst wrestler in the world.
No, I
gimmick's still over though.
He was hugely over. Number 16. Now, in today's world, this wouldn't even be a possible gimmick, but they have Eugene at 16.
I
I
would put that lower. That is one of the worst. I
have
hated
such
Eugene.
mixed feelings about Eugene, but yeah, he's not a good gimmick.
No, it was a terrible gimmick. I don't know. Everybody kept saying Nick Dinsmore was like this great wrestler. I never got to see it because he
No,
never really got to wrestle.
nope.
Like he
It's not a
just
character that you can even bring back in any way, shape, or form,
no,
ever.
no, as you should. No, 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 hell no.
Um, Probably not number 15 either. The fat chick Thriller, that 70s guy.
Mike Awesome. What are we talking about? Mike Awesome was awesome, and they
Uh,
destroyed his character.
yeah.
The fact chick
The fat
thriller.
chick Thriller. Oh my God.
Man, how do you like Mike Awesome in ECW
Yeah.
was a legit monster.
Yeah.
Like he used to powerbomb people. He used to throw poor Spike Dudley. He used to just like launch him into the crowd. And then you turn to WCW and turn him into that. Like,
Awful. Number
yes.
14, ex Santa Claus. I don't even know what this is.
What? I don't know what that. I've never heard that before.
So in 1995, the man who would become a future star in ECW and WWE appeared as ex Santa Claus, the evil twin brother of Santa who lives at the South Pole and steals presents from children.
Who was it?
Balls Mahoney.
Oh, Balls. R.I.P. to Balls. Didn't he pass away?
I think he did, but
Yeah.
oh,
Uh,
here we
Balls
go.
Mahoney.
Here we go. Number 13, Isaac Yankem.
DDS. Oh
Isaac
man.
Yankem. The
What a
first,
terrible gimmick.
the first of his.
Yes, of course. He's now a mayor. He's living
He's
his
the mayor.
best life, being a terrible human being. But
Um,
I digress.
Number 12, Friar Ferguson, Bastion Booger.
Yes. Way too high on the list. That should be lower.
Yeah,
What a terrible gimmick.
it's an awful gimmick.
Yes.
So the
Uh,
Catholic Church of New York complained a lot and they dropped the gimmick.
oh, really? That's why they dropped it? I
Apparently,
just thought it was a terrible gimmick.
it was a
Okay.
terrible gimmick.
Who knew?
So then we go to number 11, Seven.
Oh, oh my God. Dustin Road, what were you
Dustin Runnels
thinking?
came in and
Yes.
left. Like
Yes. He was in the white, like he was like all white. Like, what is going on?
this is said as one of the most
Terrible time.
ridiculous characters ever shown to be on television. Now we get
I
into the
mean,
top 10. There should be some
let's
juicy
go.
good shit. Mantar.
Let's go.
Mantar was a Minotaur.
There's a guy in AEW, what is his name? Black Taurus. But he has another name in AEW.
This is
Same
Mike
gimmick.
Halleck. Mike Halleck debuted in 1995. The character would frequently headbutt, maul, and moo at his opponents. That's some Vince McMahon stuff right there. Go out
He would
there
have
and
got
moo at him.
he would have got along so well with Los Matadores.
I want you to headbutt him and then moo at him in the ring. Like that's I
As
can
loud as you can, you son of a bitch.
Number 9, Arachnaman. This
Never
is
heard of this.
WCW really bad take on Spider-Man.
Okay, I've seen clips. I've seen clips of that. Yes.
Marvel
Nah,
sued WCW, forcing them to drop the gimmick.
yeah, because he looked exactly like Spider-Man. Like his suit was was like a different color, but it was like exactly like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was yellow. Number 8, Max Moon.
Max Moon. Wasn't Max Moon who Max Moon was
Go ahead.
Tony
Nope.
Atlas?
Nope.
Ron Simmons?
Nope.
Butch Reed?
Conan.
Conan. No,
Conan.
who was Ron Simmons?
I'm sure
Ron
we'll see
Simmons
that.
came in as
I'm
like
sure we
a
see that down the line.
ridiculous
Max Moon with the
maybe.
blue outfit. Ugh,
Yes, Conan. Interesting.
it looks awful. Number 7, oh my God. The Yeti.
The Yeti. That was WCW. Wasn't
That
he
was
part of
WCW. He
Kevin
de
Sullivan
he
Dungeon
debuted
of
in a
Doom?
block of ice, and when it thawed, the Yeti was a huge mummy. Oh,
That's a mummy's not a Yeti, but he was there to take down Hogan because you had to
yes.
take down
He
Hogan.
interfered on behalf of the Giant in his match with Hulk Hogan, poorly executing a tandem bear hug.
Yes. Yes.
I love this. Number
Good
6,
times, man.
Oz.
Hey, you know what? Oz would go on to become, a two-time WWE Hall of Famer, and bless his heart. But that was a terrible gimmick.
He was
I mean,
managed by Merlin the Wizard.
yes, so was
Oz
Benny
dressed
Vegas, but
Oz dressed in a long green robe and was based on the book The Wonderful World of Oz. Oz crushed many superstars on his way up the ladder in WCW, only to lose to Ron Simmons at the 91 Bash at the Beach. Kevin
Big
Nash would
Daddy
later
Oz.
return to
Yes, Big
WCW
Daddy. Yes.
in a little bit of a better gimmick.
Yes, a little bit.
In the top five,
Slight better gimmick.
we now have the Big Cat at number 5.
Ernie Ladd?
Dean Peters donned a cat mask and debuted at Battle Cat.
I thought we talking about the big cat. Only big cat I know is Ernie Ladd. I don't know
That's
who
the
that.
Better
I don't
Cat.
know who that is.
This guy is
Yes,
all this is awful.
yes.
The number 4 worst gimmick, Mr. America.
Okay, that's not. That's. I mean,
That was Hulk Hogan.
I know who Mr. America was, but that was
I mean, it is a
okay.
bad gimmick.
Touche. I mean, whoa, saying Mr. America is a bad gimmick is like saying El Grande
No,
Americano is a
El
bad
Grande
gimmick.
Americano is a great gimmick, and
Great.
thanks to Chad Gable for lending him his boots the other night. We'll get into that.
Exactly. Exactly.
At number 3, we have the Kiss Demon from the
I
band.
did not see that. Yes, I did not see that. It was like a Starcade or something that he showed up in. I never saw that one, but
So
that's a stupid gimmick.
in 99, Bischoff struck a deal with Kiss to create a wrestler based on the theme of the rock band. Kiss
Correct.
Demon was supposed to be the start of a stable called Warriors of Kiss, which would include a member who represented each member of Kiss, as Kiss Demon was meant to be the alter ego of megalomaniac Gene Simmons.
Yes, I thought they made a comic at too at
They
some
probably
point. I'm 99% sure they actually did a comic
at number
and
2,
talked about that.
the number 2 worst gimmick overall is the gobbledygooker.
I don't even consider I remember watching that Survivor Series, and all I thought was like the lead up to it. I don't know if you were watching back then, but like you remember the lead up. Every week they just showed the egg and what's behind the egg? What's behind the egg? And
Yeah,
thank goodness. Like Bob Euchre was in the Gobbledygooker costume once and got tombstone by Kane. That's like the highlight of the Gobbledygooker's whole career.
the number 1 worst gimmick in
Say it.
professional wrestling.
Say it with your chest.
It's the Shockmaster.
Shockmaster.
It is the Shockmaster.
Of course.
It
Of
was
course.
one of the greatest fails I have ever, ever, ever seen in my life. The bottom of the wall didn't break. He was wearing a stormtrooper helmet with glitter all over it, couldn't even see out of it, a black fur vest. And when he walked through the wall, he fell, the mask popped off, and my man had to grab it, put it back on. Oh my God.
Live TV, I tell you.
Live TV.
Live TV,
The
anything could happen.
Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster. Like, imagine that being, you know what? Hey, man, where's my mouse at? Here we go. I would totally agree with that. The Funkasaurus That is a terrible
Alcatraz
gimmick.
is a really good one.
That was a terrible gimmick.
Good one as in it's a
Uh,
bad gimmick, yes.
terrible gimmick. And
Yeah.
Brodus Clay is a terrible human being. Like I'm not a fan of the Brodus.
And that is
Um,
probably one of my more fun my for one of blah 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 one of my more fun lists.
that was a great list. That was a trip down memory lane.
Yeah, it was.
Some of Vince and his occupations. Like he just loved every occupation needed a wrestler to
It
represent
had
it.
to have one. I just
Had
wish we
to.
had got a SEPTA bus driver.
No.
Only reason I wish I just wish Vince would have grabbed us just give me a SEPTA bus driver, please.
I could dig that.
Um,
Ernest the Cat Miller. Yes.
oh, the cat.
Yes. I loved Ernest the Cat Miller. Great wrestler. Underrated. So before we go into Raw,
Mhm.
Saturday was a somber day. Um, Saturday was an extremely somber day. The news broke that our truth. I think it was Saturday, or it might have been Sunday. One of the days this
Um,
weekend, news broke that truth had been released, and the internet kind of set itself on fire. Now, it was the suddenness that really threw me off. Like I understand that he's 53 years old and
it was
still
Sunday.
can go. Yeah,
Yeah.
so still can go. I mean, he put on just a great match with John Cena just a week ago, and it really didn't hit me until I was doing this thumbnail for this show because I've pretty much retread the picture we had last week. And that Ron Cena shirt, which hopefully they still mail out. I'll be really upset if they cancel
I
my
mean, you
order.
paid
One,
for it.
they've already charged me. Then again, I mean, they could just refund
That's
me the
true.
money. I don't want them to do that. I want them to send me the shirt. Please send me that shirt because one, it's going to be a collector's item at some point when he goes in the Hall of Fame. And two, it is a dope shirt, right? And just the thought of it, like not he knew you posted a article saying that they talked about that. Like everybody knows when their contract is up, and you get the vibes when you feel like your contract's not going to be renewed.
Yep.
So I mean, everybody knew, and John Cena pushing for that match because we had talked about this a few weeks ago, thinking that the match with Truth was going to happen a lot later in the year because it was going to be an important match
Yep.
with our Truth. I
Yep.
feel like they were going to keep like just little nuggets every now and then to just keep throwing it. Like I didn't feel like it felt really rushed. And I don't know if I mentioned that on the pod when we were talking about it, but it just felt really rushed, right? And
It was a fast build up and a fast match. And
correct.
I don't think anybody saw that coming
No.
at all.
Like because you just thought truth was being truth, right? And this is a
Yeah.
good way because Saturday Night Main Event needed like a marquee
Yep.
and they needed a John Cena match, right? You need a John Cena match. Who better to put on a good show with John Cena on Saturday Night's Main Event, where the title's not on the line. Like there's no real stakes here other than two veterans putting on a good match. And Truth did that, and he was released, or not released. They didn't renew his contract.
No,
I
and
don't understand. Go ahead.
no, I was gonna say that the stuff that's coming out left, right, and sideways about it, like he was supposedly offered a new contract because his contract was coming up, but they offered him way less money and he said no. And I've said this before, and I want to reiterate this again. I do not believe Dave Meltzer when he reports stuff, but he's the
Okay.
one beating the drum that says that Carlito and Truth were Triple H's calls, that they had to release people and they were Triple H's calls, and I just don't see that as being what happened. There's no way.
I
Then
don't
again, it is a
I
business.
don't know. Yeah, I don't think it matters though who's called. Like, I don't think Triple H is like, "Yo, I don't want that guy anymore."
No, no,
I
not at
I
all.
I for sure don't think that that's the case. Like, I for sure. Now, I knew, like, I don't need a report to let me know you're gonna offer R-Truth some money. Like, you're gonna try to offer
Right.
him something because he deserves that.
Yep.
But they're not offering, like, I knew they were gonna offer him less than what he's making now because
Sure.
he's making, like, Truth is like top 10 paid people in
Probably.
WWE because of his longevity.
Yeah.
He is. He makes a lot of money. He also brings in a lot of money too. Like, it's not like he's robbing the company,
No.
you know?
No.
Um,
But
but I knew they would lowball him on offer
it's
though. Like,
I'm wondering if maybe he didn't get a list of names and they're like, you gotta pick two. And so as of 420, as of April 6th, his statistics, he wrestled 1,511 matches. He won 901 matches, lost 597 matches, and had 13 draws. Also, hi to Ray and Ange who joined in on the chat. He had a 59.6% winning streak for a 53-year-old man that was seen more of a uh, comic relief in the last handful of years, and that's great. You don't, win-loss records in wrestling are blah blah blah, but that's still good that he kept winning matches, and I'm sure a good chunk of those are the 24/7 title matches, and you count that as a match, but you know,
but I mean, he worked house shows. Like, house shows count. House
yeah,
shows matter. Everybody doesn't work. Like,
and he
I
almost
don't know
died.
personally. Like, they're wrestling, 200 dates, 250 dates out of 365 year, 365-day year. They wrestle a lot of dates. He's wrestled every time they've came to El Paso. I mean, I get it. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, they should have kept him." Like, I understand the business of it, but I understand, like, he's 53. Why would I take less than, kinda like Jeremy Renner saying they offered him less money to come back and do Hawkeye season 2. So I do understand that because you're
Yeah.
putting your body
Yep.
through the ringer. And at 53, why am I taking less money to do the exact same thing that I've been doing
I
this
mean,
last few?
that's a good point too. The optics of him making more than the working women, that's true. But I looked it up, and he was making $550,000 a year. It's a lot of money, but he also was a workhorse for them.
Yeah. No, they
Right?
didn't do away with house shows. They still do house shows.
They just
They don't do as many.
they reduced the number by a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they don't do Christmas house shows or New Year because they used to do house shows on every holiday, like, no matter what, New Year's, Christmas, they
Yep.
stopped doing those.
Now
But they still do house shows.
the the what they did on Raw is a little confusing, right? So R-Truth gets released, Carlito gets released, and then on Raw, before the show, Rhea Ripley had a Truth shirt on. They made her take it off. They confiscated all the R-Truth signs in the crowd. Dominic got away with a Carlito shirt because he kind of had it hidden under his vest, right? So that's cool. But in the clubhouse, the PS5 was gone. The
Bro,
clubhouse
I
looked
don't work here no
clubhouse
more.
looked, the clubhouse looked sadder.
It did. It
It-
is.
And
Bro,
and
I don't work here
apparently
no more. Give me my
apparently
PS5.
Carlito still had about 2 weeks to go, so he could have had more run time on the air, but he kind of broke an unwritten rule and spilled the beans early. Good for him, but he did it without malice.
Yeah, no. So Carlito at this point in his career, because Carlito 15 years ago would have burned the house down on his way out.
Sure.
Like, that's what he tried to do. That's what he tried to do when he
Yep.
left the first time.
Yep.
Older, a lot wiser. But once again, I thought him and R-Truth were two of the best comedy acts that WWE had going on. Like, Carlito while once he wasn't getting in the ring, he wasn't getting his hands dirty. I mean, he took a hellified spear from Braun Breaker a few times. But I understand it. Like I really do. It just sucks because those people are people I've grown fond of. People have grown fond of them, and it just sucks. Like I mean, there's no other way around it. The business is going to go on, but this whole sentiment of TKO taking over and it's the big corporation. Like, have you guys not watched WWE over the last like your entire lifetime? They've been doing this since day one. Like, this is not
Yeah,
anything new.
this just feels, I guess because of who it is being truth, it feels like a gut punch for a lot of people because he just had this match with Cena, which now we know Cena knew he was getting released. So Cena pushed for this to happen. Cena wanted this to happen. That's why it happened so fast. And there's footage that you can see. It's someone shooting a camera through curtains. You can't really see a lot, but it's the two of them talking and like I'm pretty sure hugging them. And hopefully we get down the line, we get actual footage of that backstage if they allowed that to be filmed. But the way that WWE's going right now, they're allowing everything to be filmed.
Correct.
Um,
Classy move by Cena. Great, like that. That should have been his last match. I don't think he should have had the match with JC on Friday.
no,
But as he was coming out on Friday, I thought to myself, this guy's 53 years old. And I was thinking this as I was watching it, and I don't know if I typed it in the group, but like he's rapping on his way to the ring and dancing.
yeah,
I don't know if you know how hard that is, especially if you're rapping the words to "What's Up." Because it's not like just it's not Max Caster coming out there and saying like a few bars as he's walking. No, he's like dancing. And he does that through the commercial break. And they come back from the commercial break and he's still going. And
yeah.
I was like, this guy is a treasure. Like
It
he
is.
is
You could see it in the Miz when the Miz was coming out with him and rapping. It was hard. They were huffing and puffing a little bit. They don't have that Jey Uso cardio.
no, I mean,
But
obviously not. But for 53, that's impressive.
I just
That was impressive.
I understand the outrage. Um, I'm pretty sure you're going to see more older wrestlers coming to the end. They're not all going to get to have their say. Like Cena's, you know, if you haven't watched the it's like 30 minutes, the Stephanie's Place with him. If you haven't watched it, it's a great watch. I mean, he gives his honest opinion. He can't put his body through that anymore.
For sure.
And it's a shame, but he's able to call his own shot. Not a lot of these other older wrestlers, they're not going to get to call their own shots.
There is a name that comes to mind, and the internet is going to act like they're
What's up,
so
Kenny?
outraged. Shinsuke Nakamura's contract is set to end, I think, in either August or September or something like that.
Yep.
And he's probably not going to renew with them.
I wouldn't if I was him.
Shinsuke, no, for sure not.
No.
Shinsuke is an absolute legend. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, if you don't know anything about wrestling, he is in Japan. He is revered as probably the greatest, if not top three, on everybody's Mount Rushmore as the greatest Japanese wrestlers, at least of the modern era. I mean, he's not. What's my man's name? God, I just forgot his name. The guy who fought Monai. He's not Antonio Inoki,
Okay.
but he is revered as the great. Like it was a sad day when Shinsuke said he was going to WWE, but it's everybody's dream to wrestle in Madison Square Garden. It's everybody's dream to wrestle at WrestleMania. So I can understand that. And of course, the biggest disappointment was AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. They had one of the greatest matches ever at Wrestle Kingdom, I think like a year or two before that. And then they just had this extremely lackluster match at WrestleMania. And his career really hasn't been the same since then. Um, and they turned him heel. But like, I feel like when he goes,
Mm-hmm.
the internet's gonna act like they care. Nobody's acting like they care about Shinsuke the last few years he's been there. Um, Legend deserved a lot better. So
Yep.
many stop and start pushes.
Yep.
Um, he could get himself over at the snap of a finger, but for some reason they want to keep turning him into a bad guy. Like he's not a bad guy. He is
No,
like he is he's the king of strong style.
Tozawa was a really good wrestler.
Great.
He's a
Tozawa's smaller though. Like
right,
that's his biggest like that's his biggest flaws. He's not as big as the bigger guys. He's a great wrestler,
right.
but people don't take him seriously.
No,
I think that they just ruined Shinsuke's
I think
aura.
so too. It
Like
sucks. And
it
he had one
does.
of the most badass entrances. Like he
They
they butchered him.
they took his music away. Like the crowd would go insane. He had Nina Strauss come out there and play the
Yup.
guitar for like, bro, the dude drips. Like he was built for this. And
Mhm.
they knew him to the point where now he's gonna go out. He's not gonna have a say, which he should though. Like you could say his WWE run was lackluster, but I mean, he still was a soldier.
Yeah.
Guy wrestled like a few days after his brother passed away. He came, dropped the title, and still did his thing. Like he deserves to call a shot. He's that much of a legend. He
Yep.
should be able to call a shot, which he won't. But the internet's gonna have a meltdown when
Of
he
course they are.
leaves, even though we know he's a like, I didn't know Truth's contract was up. Like, I didn't know, but I've known Shinsuke's because I thought Shinsuke actually was gonna leave at the beginning of the year,
Yeah.
but he did like, his contract, I think it's either September or August, like, end of August, September timeframe, and it's sad. Uh, it's really sad. I
It
mean,
is. It's a shame. Um, as far as the questions, AJ from what I was just reading, AJ is 48 years old and says he has no plans to wrestle past 50, and people think that he has about a year or so left on his contract. So I don't know if he's going to end up being able to re-sign with WWE. You know, maybe he gets a last match in WWE, signs a 1-year deal with TNA, and goes over there and finishes in TNA because he had a lot of success there, right?
I hope. I want him to have one more match with Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Let's like that is his that's his forever dance partner.
Yep.
Um it,
And as far as
yeah.
the minimum wage, yeah, I mean, Googling says it used to be 250 a year, now it's 350. So that's still good money. I would be a wrestler for 350 a year.
Oh, for sure.
I would job for 350 a year.
Oh, for sure.
Happily.
I'll be the Brooklyn Brawler for real.
I
Like
absolutely 100%.
I'll be
100%.
I'll be the Brooklyn Brawler.
100%.
Enhancement talent. That's what you like that's
But
me.
we had another cookie cutter edition of Raw. And I say this because I heard on Busted Open, I listen to snippets of that every now and then. Bully Ray went off this morning about Seth Rollins. And what he went off about was that his promos are good, but all the promos are here right now. Everybody's promo is too cookie cutter, scripted, too polished, clean. Seth Rollins is the type of person that they need to hand a microphone to and say, go to the ring and talk. Don't give him a preordained script. Don't tell him what to say. Let him go and talk. And that's why he's with Paul Heyman, because he should be able to get the microphone and go down to the ring and talk. There's a handful of wrestlers on both rosters that should be able to do that. CM Punk is another one of them that should
For
just get
sure.
the mic and just go talk. Give something with more emotion. Give me something that really drives home what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say the issue with that is what is he talking about though?
well,
Like
that's it.
who
Right
is his
now,
partner right now?
it's the same. It's the same. You're definitely going to get Punk Rollins all the way through and through SummerSlam. Like that's their goal. I wouldn't even be surprised if they push their feud out to Mania. Like it wouldn't surprise me if they found ways to put them in different tag matches to keep them fighting to have them go one-on-one eventually at a WrestleMania. I think
I
that's
hope
too long a
not.
build. I hope that's too
Yes.
long for the two of them. Um, Rollins on Monday came out in all black and looked fine. Like that.
He looked like Neo from the Matrix.
But it worked for him. I know Matt hates Seth Rollins and he's a huge Punk fan, whereas you're the opposite, where you're a huge Punk fan, don't like Seth Rollins. I like both guys. I like Rollins, but I think he needs more punch in his promos. Punk has good punch in his promos, but there's no one to match him with what he said.
Yes. And that's I think that's my biggest issue with actually both of them. Like when you had Drew versus Punk, that was an epic rivalry because you had a foil, right? I prayed for this and it happened. Like that's such an iconic line. And you had two people who genuinely disliked each other. And you have that in Punk and Rollins, but it's been going on for like almost a year now. Like that was intertwined with Drew too. Like Seth will come out there and say how much he hates Punk, and Punk will say, "I'm so tired of you."
They had it up here, and then they paused it and went different directions, and they're trying to get it back up here, and it's not up here right now. It's still down here. And Kenny's right. They need to tell us what save the industry means. Like you're spouting all this stuff, but you're not telling me what does this mean.
I could tell you what would save all of this right now.
CM Punk.
My tribal chief, your tribal chief.
I'm telling you, he's going to come back. I think he comes back Saturday night.
That's the only thing that saves. Like, because Seth is coming out there saying words that don't matter. Like, you give him a mic and tell him to go out there and cut a promo on who? Like, who's he cutting a promo on? You got two badasses, and Braun and Bronson break. Oh my God, these guys are money. Their presentation on Monday was phenomenal.
Yep.
They are money. If you put if you say, all right, now they're gonna go after the tag team goal, New Day, hand those things over.
I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen down the line. But to stay in with this, when Raw opened, CM Punk came out, and his promo was great. I mean, him calling John Cena a bitch was awesome.
The bald-headed fraud.
The bald-headed fraud. Like, and that's something I guess I just don't understand how these wrestlers can say, like Pat McAfee can say asshole, Punk can call someone a bitch, but you're muting out holy shit chants. Like, I don't get the wrestlers can say what they want, but the crowd has to be muted. It's almost like you're trying to train the crowd not to chant, and that's never going to happen. Never, ever, ever going to happen.
So that's a thing that they've come out and told the crowds to not cuss. And what does that do? That makes them want to curse them more.
Exactly. They muted the "We Want Truth" chants. Whatever. So Punk comes out, Sami Zayn comes out, and then we get everybody comes out. Oh no, I'm sorry. They didn't all come out. I'm sorry. It was Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn came out and told him not to worry about everything, worry about Money in the Bank.
That was the worst. I don't even understand. Like, that was the worst promo. That, like, him coming in there, I didn't understand it. It made absolutely no sense to me. Like how impassioned he was to talk about worrying about Money in the Bank. What are you doing, Sammy? Like, and I guess it kind of tied in a little bit later because everybody's favorite goon showed up backstage to ask Sammy what he was doing, because I didn't know what he was doing in that promo. Like,
no, Sammy is, I don't like, number one, the fact that Cross isn't in this match is a travesty. That's a whole other level of that sucks.
Correct.
And Kenny's right. Kenny's right. Roman's whole thing was smash everybody and leave, come head of the table. We know exactly what Roman wants. What does Seth want? What does his success look like? He says he wants to save wrestling. He wants to win champion. He wants to win the belt back. Okay, cool. Win your belt
power.
Back.
But I want power.
If they play this right, Seth was against everything Roman was and stood for. He was against the bloodline. He was against everything. Seth is slowly becoming that. I don't think they're going to have the same success putting Seth up there where Roman was, because now you're trying to force Seth. People like Seth. The crowd still likes to cheer Seth. You're going to have to change his music to get them to stop cheering him. It's too sing-songy to be, it's too sing-songy.
But like, I don't think they need to though. You can lean into this. He's never going to be as big as Roman Reigns. Like he is Randy Orton to Roman Reigns, John Cena. Like Randy Orton, absolute legend.
Yep.
But he's never John Cena. He can never be John Cena. Great wrestler, on par, maybe even, well, Seth is a better wrestler than Roman. Topic for another day. I don't want to start a debate right now.
No.
But Seth Rollins, I thought Randy Orton is a better wrestler than John Cena, right? But he'll never reach that popularity. It's like The Rock in Austin. Like The Rock was popular, but he was never as popular as Stone Cold Steve Austin. Right. Like there's levels to it, as they say. Yeah. Roman is up here. Seth is always going to be down here. Like he can have a million bangers. He can have the greatest wrestling matches in the world, but he'll never reach, whether he's a heel or face, he'll never reach what Roman Reigns had.
No.
I think if they change his music, don't do that, because then Def Rebel is going to get a hold of his music, and he's going to come out here listening to fucking sounding like Fraxium or like Zelina Vega's music was too low. Like, please don't.
No,
like,
we
don't need that.
So then we get the women's Money in the Bank qualifier match. And I don't know where this is going at all. I have no idea where it's going. I love it though. We have Stephanie Vaquer making her Raw debut. We have Ivy Nile and Liv Morgan. I could tell who wasn't going to win this match just by seeing who the three names are and who is going to win this match.
Ivy put on a good show.
I watched the match. It was a good, fun match.
It was. Ivy put on a good show.
The crowd chanting for Stephanie's Devil's Kiss was great. Doing the Book of Two.
Yes.
That's going to be a thing.
It's going to be a huge thing.
It's going to be a thing.
Yeah. Oh man, such a great. Yes, that is definitely going to be a thing. Love it.
So Stephanie Vaquer goes over and gets the final spot in the women's Money in the Bank.
I disagree with this call, man.
So I do and I don't. I understand.
No, I definitely understand.
We'll take a second and look at the women. So the women's field is full. We'll take a second and look at the women's field real fast. You have Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer. It is a really, really well-packed match. I'll tell you real fast what I think is going to happen. This match is going to come down to Rhea Ripley, Stephanie Vaquer. I'm sorry. It's either going to be Rhea Ripley or Naomi winning this match.
Yes.
Because Alexa's going to end up in a program either as a tag team with Charlotte or against Liv. Roxanne's probably going to go against Liv. Stephanie versus Rhea is a dream match. Like that, everybody wants to see that. And Julia versus anybody is going to be good. I want to see Stephanie versus Rhea, but I mean,
I think it's too early for that.
It is.
I think it's too early for that. That's why I thought Liv, keep Stephanie away from Rhea. The pop that Rhea Ripley got when she showed up next to Stephanie backstage was insane. That pop was something different. Like I don't think I've heard a pop like that in a long time. The crowd went insane.
Yep.
When they saw Mommy backstage. I was impressed.
I mean, that was yeah.
I think they should keep them two away from each other. I thought Liv
tease them a little bit. Them a little bit, but don't give me. No, I don't want that match now. But that's definitely a match down the line.
For sure.
I think one of the top moments of the night, Liv Morgan breaking up the Devil's Kiss drew the most heat of anything on the show.
Man, of course it did. Why would come on? Come on. Like,
Paul Heyman tried to talk AJ Styles out of the Money in the Bank match. It's just cool Paul Heyman shit. Keep being Paul Heyman. Do your dirty work.
Of course. Of course.
Then we had a tag team match.
Let's move on.
Judgment Day beat Wood Raiders. Okay, there you go.
Yeah. And I love JD and Finn. Like, I love JD and Finn. I could care less about the War Raiders. Like, that match was terrible. Like, that was not a good match. The War Raiders, they're not in Valhalla. Valhalla, her contract ended. Her contract wasn't renewed either.
That's right. I
I
forgot
think
her.
that broke news.
Yep.
I think Monday afternoon or something like that. Valhalla's married to one of the I don't know who's who in the Viking Raiders. I'll be totally honest. She's married to the bigger guy.
Yep. I forget.
Yeah, Eric or Ivar, whichever one.
Then we got a pre-tape video, Becky Lynch talking. Then we got Lyra in the ring talking. Becky came down and talked, and it literally was the same thing that they've been saying for the last couple of weeks.
I promise I won't say anything bad about her.
I know. I'm gonna get to the other comments in a second. It blah blah blah. And then we get to the big tag team match of the night. Jay and Sammy versus Braun and Bronson. The two of them together look great, and I'm not talking about Jay and just Sammy.
They look like monsters.
Yep.
That tag team, when they came out, when Paul Heyman comes out and they just start Bronson's music and then they start Braun Breaker's music, and I was like, these guys
they mixed them
like
really well.
$1 million bucks.
Yeah.
They look great together. They're all black and they just look like badasses that are gonna kill you. Like they look like they're going to maim you in the ring. And I need that. Like, that'll save the tag team division on Raw.
But we did not get to see a full match because Seth Rollins came in and stomped Jey Uso.
I don't think they need that. That would derail the tag team. That would derail that tag team.
Which then brought
he keeps doing it.
CM Punk down to make the save. Okay. Liv Morgan and telling Finn she doesn't trust him. That's building. That's cool. That's coming. Kairi Sane versus Raquel Rodriguez was not a bad match.
That was not a good match either.
It was not a good. It wasn't a good match, but it wasn't a bad match.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane won.
Love her elbow drop. Best elbow drop in the business.
Yep. And then we get the men's money qualifier. We had CM Punk versus AJ Styles versus El Grande Americano, one of the greatest luchador wrestlers in the history of wrestling. I don't know if this was the right call that El Grande Americano using Chad Gable's boots because his boots got lost in luggage, and Chad was nice enough to let him have his boots. Stand up, gentlemen.
Kind and generous. Yeah, kind and generous gentleman. Yes.
Really nice of Chad Gable to do that. And El Grande goes over and wins, which is weird. Well, it's not weird, but so Chad has a match on Saturday, but so does El Grande.
Yeah.
That works, right?
I mean, he's not going to be tired because he's not El Grande Americano.
He's not going to be tired.
I mean, Stephanie McCare has 2 matches on Saturday as well.
Does she?
Yes, she does. She's fighting at Worlds Collide in a tag team match with Lola Vice. Ladies and gentlemen, those 2 people in the ring, I don't care who they're wrestling, you should probably watch it. Lola Vice and Stephanie McCare in the ring at the same time
but
watch it.
But the pop that El Grande got was crazy. He's a true American hero.
I'm not the biggest fan of the gimmick. But God damn it, Chad Gable deserves I'm never gonna be mad when Chad Gable wins. I'm never gonna be mad. Like I can't. Like every part of me wants him to be successful. He's
So
not gonna win the money in the bank. Like
so with that
I don't
so with that said, with El Grande winning and carrying Cross stop Sammy in the back and hopefully those two have a program and they do some good wrestling. That's what I hope for Carrion.
I hope so.
I hope that's a step forward for him. The men's Money in the Bank is yes, Kenny. We are watching Lola and Vaquer for the wrestling.
For the wrestling.
That's
Great
all it is
wrestlers.
for the wrestling.
They're
Um,
fantastic wrestlers.
the men's Money in the Bank match, we have Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and as the aforementioned greatest luchador in the history of luchadors, El Grande Americano. The only thing I can say about this is Penta, Andrade, and El Grande are going to have some awesome, awesome spots. They're going to do some crazy sick work. But the only winner I see coming out of this is Seth Rollins.
This is when you just name those names, this is the worst men's Money in the Bank I've
I don't,
ever heard.
it
Like
doesn't excite me. Like the
it,
women's, I'm
this
very excited for the women's. The women's looks like it's going to be fire.
the women's has the main event. The women's Money in the Bank match has the main event. They might have John Cena and
I,
Logan tag team be the
they're
main event.
probably going to have that be the main event. Um, the other two matches on the card, because Triple H likes a small card. The other two matches, it's Cody and Jay versus John Cena and Logan Paul, which we already said earlier. That's going to be Cena and Paul winning. Lyra and Becky. Becky's going to win that. That's hands down, without a doubt.
For
Now,
sure.
Lyra wins. That's cool, but the men's Money in the Bank match is just the weirdest group of individuals. And yes, like Kenny said, they're going to put on a great show. I think
Oh
there's
yeah,
going to
for
be some
sure.
super awesome spots. I don't know how Soul is getting up a ladder and doing a cool spot off a ladder, but
Oh, somebody's getting a spike off the top of the ladder. Somebody's getting spiked
yeah,
down off the ladder.
yeah, the talent is top tier. Even
Yeah.
LA Knight's going to be great as long as he doesn't mess up on a ladder and flying around the ring. I
Yeah,
can't see anyone but Seth winning this match, though.
for sure. And like as you look at it, it's built for Seth to win the match. Like there's no other name in this match other than LA Knight that really even comes close. Like if
Um,
you
no,
Penta,
Penta's not because he's good.
yeah,
Andrade's not.
yeah,
Chad
no.
Chad's push is all but done for the most part. Like they had the chance to put something on him in the past. Nope. No carrying
This is built
cross,
for Seth.
huge miss. I,
Yeah.
I don't
I
I don't understand what they're doing with that character. And I guess I don't get the logic in this Money in the Bank. There's
I don't think they care about I said this, I don't think they care about Karen Cross. Like everybody
unfortunately
he
not.
has a following. He
Sure.
has a following. He got a pop when he showed up on Monday.
Yeah.
But I don't think they care. Like I don't and it's the people who matter there. I don't think they care. I think that I really don't know. I don't know.
Listen, Kenny, if El Grande wins this match, I will
Bro,
not be upset at all.
that's
I
crazy.
won't be. But
I wouldn't either.
as the go home match before Money in the Bank, this was a mid show. It wasn't that great,
Yes.
and
I
it's
didn't even realize Money in the Bank was this weekend because
I
that's how mid these shows were. It was like
I
they're not ironing home the fact that we have a huge pay-per-view on Saturday.
right, and I only remembered it because it's going to be too cold and rainy to go swimming at Matt's pool, so it's got to have to be Money in the Bank then.
Gotta stay and watch Money in the Bank. Yeah, this is a very weird time to be a wrestling fan. There are a lot of people who the tribalism is at all-time high, WWE's falling off. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE's not going anywhere.
Oh.
The same business model, they've had this exact same business model over the years. They go through highs, they go through peaks, they go through valleys. Um, Mariah Mariah May, who
Mhm.
apparently is getting a name change, she showed up on the NXT on Saturday. I mean on Tuesday to a huge pop. Like the crowd was insanely surprised that she showed up. She had
Yeah.
just left AEW over the weekend. Her contract expired, and she showed up on Tuesday. She's going to be a big player in the women's division. Everybody kept saying, "What are we going to do now that Stephanie's gone?" Like the WWE is in good hands. They have a lot of good young talent. We're about to lose a lot of the older talent. Apparently, The Miz has
Yeah.
unfollowed, has un now, there are a lot of people who are not high on The Miz. The Miz is one of the most underrated superstars that we've ever seen. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. I
He's not.
always been a huge Miz fan. Um, when he like his contract is set to expire in July. If they're not going to renew his contract, which he's probably going to ask for a boatload of money because he has been a huge ambassador for the WWE. He has done every single red carpet. He's done all of the entertainment stuff that the WWE does.
Mhm.
He does. Like that's been his bag. He's the game show host. He's about to host the American Gladiators. Like he is an entertainment guy. He has been their bridge to Hollywood when the Hollywood people left.
Do you think maybe he just kind of unfollowed them as kind of like a like stomping his foot in solidarity for Truth being released because they were so close? Or do you
Nah,
really I mean, he's probably making um, um I'm gonna have to look that up just because I'm curious. He earns around 2.5 million a year, so he's absolutely getting cut, unfortunately.
y- yes, like he makes a lot of like because he brings in so
Right.
like endorsements, movie,
Yep.
like he does a lot that doesn't go get seen because the hardcore wrestling fans don't think he's a great wrestler, right?
Right.
Um, and what they're wrong. He's a fantastic wrestler. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He just that's not been his role, right? He's not his role. He's a mid card guy. He's been turned into a mid card guy. He's not a main event anymore. Um, I think I don't think he's been a company guy so long. I don't think that would be the thing that makes him unfollow. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
But
I mean, I
it's
wish I was
kind
married to Maurice and I could know, but
of
you know,
two
you know.
2.5 million to take Black Mass week after week.
Shit,
Sign me up.
I
Sign
about to
me
say,
up.
yeah, he could really kick me in the face. Like those are working kicks. He could really kick me in the
I'll
face for
take it.
$2.5 million
Absolutely.
week after week. Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, and Kenny said it. We're in a down year. The matches are great. The stories are eh. Um,
yes,
and yeah, the Miz is the male version of Natty. He just puts everyone
correct.
over. I,
He does,
I'm I'm still gonna watch,
of course.
not just because I like doing this with you, but and we get good content from the fans, fans, friends that come in and watch the show. Um, and I appreciate everyone that does pop in and chit chat. Kenny, you missed our top list of worst gimmicks ever. I'll just cut right to the chase. Shockmaster was number one. The Gobbledygooker was number two. Um, there was some nice nostalgia and throwback remembering some of these awful gimmicks that wrestlers have.
Terrible gimmicks.
But
Oz.
I, you know, we got Money in the Bank coming up. I think it's going to have two great ladder matches. I think the tag match is going to be eh, and as long as Becky and Lyra aren't talking, they're great. They wrestle fine. I don't need to hear them talk anymore.
Correct.
Wrestle great.
Like
No,
don't promo. Don't
no,
say
come
anything.
right
Just
out,
come in the ring and fight each other.
come right out and fight each other.
That's it.
The only
I think
thing,
money.
the only other
Go ahead.
thing I'm wondering about if El Grande Americano is, if Chad Gable's wrestling earlier in the night or at another part, is there going to be something that happens to maybe take him out and slide someone else in? We've seen stuff like that happen before.
I've thought of that. I've thought of that because I thought of that with Stephanie. I was thinking like
But like,
sounds
could
like
it happen at the match? You know, like what if,
at the Worlds Collide match, yeah.
what if, what if is Worlds Collide before Money in the Bank?
Yes, World Collides in like noon or something like that.
And they're in the same location though.
I think they're in the buildings across from each other.
Okay, they're in the same city.
Like, yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, they're right next to each other.
So
They're like,
what if Chad gets hurt and El Grande has to pull out?
no, I think they're gonna play up a Chad angle where he does get hurt in the match with
So he can leave early.
Kingo,
Mhm.
and then El Grande Americano gonna come up there fine and dandy, and they're like, that can't be Chad because he got hurt earlier in the day. That's something funny that I would do because I would find that funny, but I don't know if they're that smart. I don't know if they're that smart.
Kenny, I said the same thing. I think that Becky's going to win that belt to elevate it like she did the NXT belt when she won it and then dropped it to Lyra. I think this is going to be the reverse. Chad gets hurt and El Grande missed his flight. I'm excited to see what happens this weekend. I still get a little excited up for the PLEs, pay-per-views, whatever the hell.
You know what I want? You know what I want them to do this year? What they're not gonna do, but I wish they did again. Do the Money in the Bank at WWE headquarters. That was, it was during the pandemic. I want to see somebody get thrown off a roof.
I'm telling you, I was watching it with my friend Ray and his wife Ange, her in the chat, and she literally, it was her husband tweeted out that there was just murder at WWE headquarters. There's somebody driving on 95. Did you just see a body flying off the
body? Yeah,
Rey
you just see a body
right?
just fly. Yes,
it was Rey Mysterio.
Yes, Aleister Black did it.
That was like murder.
You know what? That was fun. That was something so totally different. But I mean, it's good. I say that that's the worst men's Money in the Bank lineup. I think just by name value itself, but it's going to be a great match. Like it's going to be everybody in there is super talented.
Yes,
but there can only be one winner, and it's going to be Seth. Right, Bronson,
so.
like Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are literally gonna lift Seth up for him to get the belts.
You know,
that's what's gonna happen.
That would be freaking cool. That would be cool.
That's what's gonna happen.
I'm in.
Like they're going to, like, those two are they're gonna have a banger match, and then at like minute 32. Those two are just going to show up and just obliterate everybody, like put everybody through ladders, and then Seth's just going to like stroll up there. Like, you could have did that in minute 1, but let's give the fans something.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. That's overbooking to the top. But yeah, I'm excited to see I'm excited to see both Money in the Banks, but there's a lot of like Kenny said, there's a lot of interactions that have never taken place. And
this is true.
Penta's a high flyer, and I'm just excited. I love his entrance.
Yes,
I'm telling you, if ever there was a time to get the rights to Smooth Operator for one night, it's Penta walking out the Money in the Bank to Smooth Operator like that. That's what I want.
I think that the women's Money in the Bank is going to be the match of the night.
Same.
Evolution is coming up in July. We're gonna, out of this Money in the Bank match, we're going to get 3 Evolution matches or 2 Evolution matches. Might be a tag somewhere in there. I'm really excited for this one. I'm more excited for the women's Money in the Bank because I don't know who's going to win that. I'll be totally honest.
Like I said, I think it comes down to who did I say? Naomi
and Rhea.
Or Rhea.
I don't want Rhea to win.
It's
I
not
don't
that I
want Rhea to
want
win.
Rhea to win, but those are the two most likely to win. I would love to see Naomi win. I would love to see Naomi win and hand it to Bianca and say, here, B, I did this for
I
you.
told you, yeah, I told you I was your best friend. I love you, B. I
And then
love
grab
you. I even went to your house and smelled your.
grab her and kiss her. I'm sorry, that's a wrong
Yeah,
show. My bad.
yes,
My bad.
yes. Um, but I think I'll be totally honest. Now that Stephanie's in this, I think Stephanie might win it. I
I mean, it's her second match, so I don't know, but
they are put
stranger things have happened.
they are in love with her because
Yeah.
she's like one of the fastest call ups. Her and Julia
Mhm.
are really fast call ups. Like
Yep.
Stephanie Vaquer's life has really changed in the last year due to her match with Mercedes Monet, which really just changed her life.
Mhm.
Um, Deservedly so. She's worked ass off. She's done this. She's done this to get where she's at.
Yep.
Um, but I wouldn't be surprised if she wins on Saturday. I would not be surprised.
Next week, I wanna have a chat about the Netflix documentary that's coming out. I wanna do it this week. I'll do it next week when we have a lot more time because I ordered
So
pizza. I'm hungry.
next week, do you have a game on Thursday? Because next week, Wednesday is my son's birthday.
Oh,
I will.
I'm not gonna make you miss it. We'll figure it out. I gotta see. I don't know
Yeah,
what their schedule is yet. I know I have a
yeah.
game tomorrow night at 9:30. I'm gonna cry.
9:30. That's crazy work right there.
It is.
That is
It is.
crazy work.
The doc is dropping. I think it's July. Uh,
You talk about the backstage
backstage
WWE
thing.
thing?
I think it's
Yeah.
Unreal is when is Unreal? I just looked it up earlier today. I think it says summer, so I think it's uh I totally forget when it's coming out. But it's June or July. It's coming soon. I know that.
Okay.
Um I swear to God I saw this earlier. I can't find it. But I definitely want to talk about it next week because July 29th. It
Okay.
looks like. So end of July, but I have some thoughts. There we go. We have Seth
I
and
can dig
Naomi.
it.
We have Seth and Naomi picked. I picked Seth, basically Seth and Naomi. Um, LA Knight could win.
There
I'm
there
excited.
there is absolutely no chance LA Knight wins this Money in the Bank.
I don't
I'll
know.
eat my words. I will eat my words if he does. But
I,
this is Seth's to lose. Like LA Knight in LA is a great story, but yeah. Yes, Michael Cole's ready. I just hope Wade Barrett's not on the call.
uh,
Bless his bless his heart.
he's better than Corey.
He's better than who? Oh, Joe Tessitore?
I don't hate Joe
Mm.
Tessitore. I mean, who's the Cor? Was it Corey? The cop
Oh, Corey Graves?
Corey Graves. Yeah, I hate Corey Graves.
Uh, mm, I'm indifferent. They're like the same person. Like
Yeah.
they really are. One just has an accent. But we have hit all of our beats. I've man, you know what? Best of luck and our well wishes to our truth in his future endeavors. Like, thank you for the memories. I will say, the little Jimmy run was perhaps one of the greatest runs to like that. Really should have been when he won the title. I love the little Jimmy run. Capital Punishment. John Cena derailed two of the greatest runs that people had. Mark Henry, the retirement run. John Cena should have lost the title that time, and he should have lost to R Truth with the little Jimmy thing because I thought little Jimmy was disturbing, but it was also genius. Like it was it was great. It wasn't comedy. That was back when R Truth got serious, and it was very disturbing, but it was so great. Um, Thank you for the memory. Like I really it really did sadden me because our truth is really I can't wait till he comes back for the Hall of Fame because he's definitely a
Uh-huh.
like they need to put him in the Hall of Fame next year and kind of get it out of the way. But
I don't think they will that soon, but I agree with you.
no, I don't think they will either. But he's been phenomenal. Carlito too. Valhalla, no, she's a
No.
terrible human. Um, but yeah, like R-Truth, man, he's great. I mean, he's gonna do great whatever he does. Like he I don't know if this is true or not, but he posted that he had OnlyFans
No,
already
that's not true.
already.
That's fake.
That's
That
hilarious.
was fake.
That would that would be funny though.
I looked
I mean, I
I
wouldn't
I looked
subscribe to
I
it,
looked for that Twitter handle just to make sure it was fake.
but
I
that's
had to be
hilarious.
sure because I was gonna share
That's
that all over the place if that was real.
yes, that would be funny. That
Yes,
would
that
be
would be
funny.
hilarious.
But I mean, we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. I want to thank, like, once again, if you take your time out of your busy week to spend some time with us and talk about wrestling, talk about your love for wrestling, talk about your hate for Nia Jax, talk about your love for CM Punk, I appreciate it. Kenny, Ray, Matt, thank y'all so much. Thank you, Frank, for doing this. Like, you don't have to take your time of your week
I
to spend some time on the island of relevancy, but you do. And I really appreciate you so much. And this is so much fun because I
right back
love wrestling. Can't wait. Wade could have, I mean, uh, yeah,
at it.
Wade Barrett.
I'm gonna
No
go get my
thanks.
pizza.
All right. You guys have a great night and good luck on your hockey game tomorrow.
Oh,
Get
thank you.
some Bengay, like some
I'm gonna eat a lot of
lidocaine.
ibuprofen.
And get those joints limber and have a good night. And until next week, we'll see y'all again. We'll keep you posted on when this next go is going to be. My son is turning 7. It's kind of a big deal.
That's awesome. Happy
That
birthday
that is
early.
awesome. Oh man, I'm about to spend a whole lot of money.
Yes, you are.